All right, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, June 27th, and I'm at Elizabeth Furnace. It's a sprawling campsite. Elizabeth Furnace, the furnace meaning back in the 1800s, they made pig iron. They harvested the ore and smelted it down. But I should be coming out there either today or early tomorrow morning. It's a little confusing on my guide, but I think I got it figured out. I'm gonna be heading that way and head up to Signal Knob, kind of the longer way. But anyway, 10:36, it's overcast. Might get a few sprinkles, but I don't think anything crazy. So, glad to be here. This is my first time here, so I gotta make sure I pay attention to my navigation. All right, ciao. Okay, I am on the side of Massanutten Mountain. I'm on the trail. I only remember the number, 405.2. I'll have to look at my Nat Geo map to get the name of it. I forgot. Anyway, I'm coming up to a campsite. It's way too early. It's not even noontime. Hoping to make 9, 10, or 11 miles today. Humidity is off the charts. There's some pesky mosquitoes, but I got a repellent, and I never know if I'm saying it correctly, but pick-a-ridden. Here's the campsite. So this is my first Massanutten campsite, and it looks pretty clean. Fire pit is way full. Other than that, it's a decent site. All right. It's Saturday, June 27th. It's 1:30. I just spent the last 45 minutes mulling over. Part of me was like, not getting into it. And I don't know why, because I worked so hard 2 months to plan this trip. I may not be doing the 35 miles that I planned, but I'm gonna salvage something out of this. I thought about hiking back to my car, but I haven't done a whole lot of miles today. I'm gonna try to hike another 3 or 4 more hours. I just stopped at a campsite about a minute back behind me. But anyway, I think this is called the Sidewinder Trail, I think. Anyway, I am filming in 4K, 30 frames per second. So we'll see how that comes out. All right, good afternoon. It's Michael. It's about 4:20 p.m. And that is the Bear Wall Trail heading to Mennica Peak Trail and also the Signal Ridge Knob, which I'll be heading that way tomorrow. It's been a interesting and trying day. After 2 miles, I came really close to just turning around, going back to the truck. I was like, what is that gonna do? How is that gonna help me? And I didn't see a whole lot of value in it. The last 2 weeks of work were extremely demanding. Last night was demanding at work, and I only got 4.5 hours sleep last night before leaving Whitestone at 6 a.m. and I only had a 173-mile drive. It was like 3.5 hours. It was quite good, but it was warm and a little out of shape, and just a combination of stuff. Work, being in shape or out of shape, and hiking in the summer is always a challenge for me. But anyway, around 3 o'clock, I decided to set up camp and just gonna regroup and see how much of this 35-mile trip I can salvage. If I do 35 miles, that'll be a miracle. I'll have to do 15 tomorrow and 15 the next day. We'll see. Not impossible, because the days are long. My pack is fairly light, although I'm carrying a lot of water. Anyway, let me give you a quick tour of my camp. It's a nice spot. I'm about 1/2 mile from where the Bear Wall Trail meets the Mennica Trail. Fire pit is pretty lame. I'm not going to collect wood, I just don't have the energy. But I've got a new Heel Knock Zero, and I've had that ground pad for it for a couple of years, and I will never use that Heel Knock Zero without the ground pad. I brought one Devil's Backbone, 9.1%. It was good. Wish I'd brought a second one. Anyway, there's the old Big Agnes copper sprayer, and that's actually my pillow, filled with clothing and stuffed sacks and things like that. Some camp shoes, so I can get up in the middle of the night and go pee. And just nice and quiet. Each day, I'm out here for 3 more days. Each day's gonna get a little bit warmer. It did sprinkle lightly today, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I didn't have a productive day. I only did 4 miles. So that's okay. It's a new area for me, and just getting to understand the layout and the trail system. I don't know, it's, it takes a little bit of work. And, I'm not a spring chicken. Anyway, I'm all set up, and I'm relaxing and chilling. And I do hope to make a small YouTube video. We'll see. I did switch my video setting to 4K, 30 frames per second. I was using 1080, 60 frames per second. And I shut off the HDR because I wasn't happy with a lot of my videos, especially when filming while walking. They just seemed a little overexposed and not sharp. But anyway, that's enough for me. Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m., June 28th, Sunday. And I just got up about 5:45, so a little over an hour ago. I slept great. Didn't slide off. My 2 sleeping pads were great, and the sleeping bag liner was all I needed. It was 68 degrees when I woke up this morning, and I had 2 of my power coffees, which is instant coffee with Carnation's Essential Breakfast powdered drink mix and a little bit of sugar, and I had a package of oatmeal, and I haven't had oatmeal in years. Of course, it was the brown sugar maple, which is my favorite. Anyway, there's a light trickle coming down. It started raining after midnight, and it rained for a good 5 hours, and I was completely dry. So I'm slowly packing up. Okay, time to head towards Mennica Trail intersection, and then on to Signal Ridge Knob, and then back to my truck in a few hours. Ciao. All right, good morning. It's Sunday morning. I don't know, it's probably going on 9 o'clock or a little bit after. At the intersection of the trail that I've been following all of yesterday and part of this morning with the Mennica Peak Trail, number 427, and it hooks up with the Massanutten Trail, which is 408. I'm going to pick up the Massanutten Trail on this. And that 4.6 is where my car is, so that's good. That's encouraging. It's nice and foggy. I don't know what the elevation is, but where I camped was only about 1,700 feet above sea level, and Mennica Peak is only 2,390 feet. So these mountains aren't high, but they're rugged. They are rugged, and water sources are few and far between. So just made a couple of adjustments. I got enough water to get back to my car, but if I do see a good source, I'd probably pick up a quart. Anyway, I need to keep moving. Ciao. I'm heading towards Massanutten Trail, which is trail number 408. The trail that I'm on is 405.2. And I don't remember, they had an animal, a wolf or a boar or something, but anyway, pardon me for not recalling the name of the trail I've been hiking on for the last day and a half. Anyway, it's foggy. First real descent of the whole trip. And go from there. Curious to see how the 4K 30 frames per second video turns out with the high definition resolution turned off. All right, I'm at the end of 405.2, and right in front of me is Small Creek, and I am going to get a quart of water to get me through to my car. And 408, that's the Massanutten Trail, and I haven't really mentioned it, but the Massanutten Trail is a 71-mile loop around Massanutten Mountain, and I'm doing sections of it. And good percentage of my hike on this trip is on the Massanutten Trail. But I am going to take a break and go from there. Very clean source of water. I filtered 2 quarts. I'm fueling up on electrolytes mixed with Gatorade. Because contrary to popular belief, Gatorade has no electrolytes. It's just sugar. It's like fancy Kool-Aid, but I like it. And the liquid IV, they're true electrolytes, but the flavor is kind of acquired taste. But anyway, Beautiful mountain creek on Massanutten Mountain. All right, I'm gonna be on an old road that dates back to the Revolutionary times and even the Civil War. This road is very old. It goes back to the mid 1700s. Signal Knob Ridge, or Signal Ridge Knob, whatever it's called, was an observation encampment for the Revolutionary War troops fighting the British. And then during the Civil War, it was used by both the Union Army and the Confederate Army as an observation encampment. Now it has West Virginia Public Television tower and probably internet tower and who knows what else, but yeah. And I'm debating on camping at Elizabeth Furnace Family Campground and going home tomorrow, but that's all good. Millipede. All right, just been following this road for, I don't know, a mile and a half. I'm at Signal Ridge Knob, and I'm gonna stop, take a break, and gonna head back to my truck, which should be another 3 miles. You can kind of see a tower in the clouds. All right, I gotta check my gyre, make sure I'm going the right way. All right, it's Sunday, June 28th. I'm on top of Signal Ridge Knob, and I got 5 miles to the parking lot where my truck is. So hopefully it's all downhill. Downhill doesn't bother me. I'm in the clouds. It's been a tough hike, to be honest with you. And most likely I'm gonna stay at Elizabeth Furnace Family Campground once I get to my truck. Got plenty of daylight, so it's not like I can't do it. All right, time to hike on. I hiked it and I liked it. coming down Signal Knob Ridge Trail. Relentless rock gardens, one after another. I'm talking a dozen or more. Distinct, relentless boulders. Slow going on that stuff. Pretty common terrain in Virginia and West Virginia. Yeah, I think I got about 1.5 miles, 1.75 miles to my truck. I'm gonna have one cold one. All right, hike on. All right, it's a little after 1:30, Sunday, June 28th, and about 5 minutes back, I took a break, sat down. There was a big old fire pit with no places to camp, so it's kind of a useless spot. And while I was sitting there drinking my drink, all of a sudden I heard a big crashing sound through the brush. I didn't see anything, but it was unmistakable. And it could have been a bear. Didn't see anything. I've been stopping and checking my back. So far, so good. But I don't know. I got 1 mile or possibly even 2 to my car. And it's rain starting to pick up. All right. All right. I'm not sure what time it is, but it is Sunday. It's probably 2:15. If I had to guess. I am only about 5 or 6 minutes from my truck. And I just want to say something about this trip. I didn't do the trip that I planned. Let's put it that way. I only did about 1/3. And it was extremely difficult terrain. Far more than I anticipated. But part of it was just, I'm not a fan of hiking in hot, humid weather. I don't mind the rain so much. And I only had 4.5 hours of sleep Saturday night, Sunday morning. And so I didn't get a lot of days done yesterday. But anyway, I'm glad I did it. And I just hiked 5 miles without stopping only but one time. So I'm gonna make a little video because I'm trying a new video format, and it's a new area, so, but I'll be back. All right.